Hi, I'm Luke O'Nien.
I'm Jordan Willis, and this is a special podcast for Show Racism on the Red Card.
This is 25 for 25, a Show Racism the Red Card podcast. Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
So the first real experience for me was probably when I was under 18s at Watford, and we went on tour to Italy to play a football tournament. I was a skipper, and we had a couple of black people in our team, and they got racially abused by an Italian team. It happened during the first half. Unsettled quite a few of us. We didn't expect it. I think it's the first time I've come across it. And we didn't really know what to do. So I think it was half time we made our manager aware of it. Said there's been a few comments, and then we all kind of came to the agreement that if it happens again during the second half, we'll take a stand and we'll walk off the pitch. And then during the second half, one of the Italian players racially abused one of our own. And we took a stand together and we came off the pitch. Didn't play the rest of the tournament. And it was actually all over Sky Sports at the time. That was kind of my first real experience. We all kind of stood together and come to the agreement that if it happened again, we're not tolerating it. And we walked off the pitch together. I felt like it was the right decision. That was kind of my first real experience. I think I was about 18, maybe a bit younger than that. So that was me.
Yeah, I think my first experience probably would have been around the same age. I think it was an away game with the first team. I wasn't on the bench that day, I was in the stands, but a couple of the lads that were on the bench, during the first half went out to warm up. And, when they come back in, they obviously said to a few of the lads, like, names and stuff or chants that had been thrown their way. Didn't really do much about it. They just took it, brushed it off. But, at the same time, it probably should have reported it. Discrimination, it shouldn't be accepted on any level, whether it's between you and your mates or someone you don't know. I don't think it should be acceptable on any level. I don't know, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. We're in a privileged position, and there's always, when we're at the training ground, there's people, not during these times, but we sometimes have people getting tours of the training ground. I think, there's no room for racism, whether we're in the workplace, whether we're at home, because, you've got sometimes kids who are looking up to us, and I think it's our duty to show them the right way, how to respect one another. I agree with Willis that there's kind of no room for racism anywhere. A lot of people are watching football these days, especially during the lockdown now, and with a lot of kids tuning in, watching, and maybe asking the questions to their parents of why are people taking the knee. I think it's been very important in the education, because that's all it is it's education and understanding that everybody is equal in this world. And I think by everybody taking the knee, kids asking questions to their parents, and their parents kind of giving them the awareness of what's going on in the world and what we're trying to do, I think it's very important. For me, I've just become a dad, and I want to educate my girl to respect everybody equally, and hopefully everyone across the nation, across the world, is doing the exact same.
I think no matter what your role is, you should look at yourself and want to be a good person, do and say the right things from within yourself, no matter what your role is. I get and understand that, being a captain or being a father and having a more substantial role wherever you are is a bit more of a responsibility. But at the end of the day, no matter what your role is, I think you should take it upon yourself to have respect for everyone.
Everybody is entitled to their own opinions and their to their choices. I think we've had talks in the change rooms about what we want to decide, and I think collectively we came to the decision that we all agree with taking the knee. I think it's a powerful movement. I think it's really improved education all the way around the world. And I think it's been very important going forward of trying to educate everybody in equality.
I think it starts, obviously, like you said, as an individual decision. Everyone's got their own decision to make, but, collectively as a team, we came together with the same decision. So then at the end of the day, then it is a team decision as well. So, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and everyone here came with the same collective opinion. So then it became a team choice as well. I think with the reasons as to why it started, you've seen repercussions from people being arrested, or just, things have happened because of the protests. And I think when things are happening, and people are feeling improvements, at the same time as they feel a sense of achievement, there's always going to be scenarios out there that people might feel injustice for. So then, I think that the movements would definitely continue. I think they do need to continue, subconsciously. It's a problem that's still there. People do face racism in day-to-day life, and it is one thing that definitely needs dealing with. It's hard to kind of put into picture, but it's little things, as I say, as silly as, but it's kind of, if I was to go out for a walk, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and it's quite, like an empty street, I might have my hood up. It's just little things as people crossing the road, possibly not to cross me, stuff like that. I've experienced that before, but that's just one example. But it's just things like that where subconsciously, maybe it's the way the media have portrayed people of colour. It's not sometimes the person's fault. It's just their subconscious, the way people are portrayed, that they think safest option is to cross the road rather than to carry on walking down that same path. Yeah, like I said, with the BLM movement and stuff like that that's going on, the protesting, but I think it's brought it to light. A lot more people are realising what happens day to day, and then like what Luke touched on, with the children will be asking questions, and education from a young age of just everyone's equal. I think that's a big part of starting a good change.
When we talk about racism, it's not just about in football, it's just about in everyday life. It's not just when we go out to play, it's every single job out there, people across the world have experienced it. And I like to say the same, is that it's an education, it's who we are as a person is the most important thing. There's people who are leading the way in other industries who are black, who are homosexual as well. Like, it doesn't matter who you are or how you feel. It's just the most important thing for me, and the way my parents raised me, is they just judge people as if you're a nice person. It's the most important thing, and anything else is irrelevant. I think you've got to look at, again, the past and see how far we've come from 25 years ago. And, if we can continue to make that progression forwards with just equality in everyday life, I think we're going to be in a very good place, because, the world's not perfect. It never will be perfect. But, how can we change the world? It's one person at a time. And if we can keep educating ourselves and educate the people we know, I think we're going to be in a very good place in years to come. So we just got to continue on the positive improvements that we're doing at the moment, and I think that's we'll have a good future.
I think we have to continue progressing in the way we are. We've come a long way, and there's still a way to go. But I think if we can continue in the way we are, then hopefully we can get to that point.